Despite an early dip, U.S. stocks were rebounding this afternoon, this time led by a rally in consumer stocks as well as transportation stocks. Now, U.S. stocks were indeed off to a rough start this session after China's central bank earlier than expected raised its benchmark lending as well as deposit rate by a total of 25 basis points. Also adding to jitters, we had Moody's Investor Services downgrading Portugal's government debt to junk status. Also, we saw in Wednesday's economic reports that they were not so positive. This on ISM non-manufacturing figures falling to a reading of 53.3 from 54.6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Despite an early dip, U.S. stocks were indeed rebounding this afternoon, approaching the closing bell. This led mostly in part by an unexpected rally in both consumer stocks as well as transportation stocks. Now today, the U.S. markets did indeed get off to a rough start as overnight China's central bank unexpectedly raised its benchmark deposit and lending rates by a total of 25 basis points. Also adding to jitters overseas, Moody's Investor Services downgraded Portugal's government debt to junk status. Meanwhile, also released today in the United States, economic data was not at all that strong after ISM non-manufacturing figures did fall to a reading of 53.3 from 54.6. However, later on in the afternoon, the U.S. markets did eventually rally, this time led by strong reports in both consumer and transportation stocks. And of the 2.4 billion shares trading today on the New York Stock Exchange, roughly 40% of them were rising and 56% were in the red. Now, taking a look to see how the Dow Jones has closed out today's trading session, the Dow on the upside, a total of 56.15 points to settle in at 12,626.02. Now, in a breakdown of today's major market movers, we first begin with shares of trucking company Conway, up nearly 4.5%, this after announcing that it has restored its employee benefits. Meanwhile, shares of Signature Bank taking a 2% hit on the day, this after stating that it will sell a total of 4.1 million shares of common stock at a total of $56.25 per share. Meanwhile, shares of FedEx Corporation advanced today 1.4% and UPS shares rising a total of 1.3%.